Hello. I am, as usual, losing my mouse. There we go. Too many screens. Got to find which one has the right mouse on it to turn on. Woohoo! Instagram. And it looks like, yes, now we are on Instagram. So, hello, everybody. It is, what is it, June 12th. Yay. And I see we've got some people over on Instagram joining. Nice. Including, I believe that is one of the yarn creators, if I remember correctly, the handle for this one. Um, and losing my train of thought. We also have Marion. You know, the screen that has Instagram on it is, of course, my smallest screen. Screen. I can speak, really, I can. Marion. Oh, anyway, says hello, everyone. Some of these Instagram names are hard to figure out. I wish that they would let you put capital letters so you could like capitalize the first letter of each word when they're all like smushed together in your Instagram handle. That would be really nifty. Because sometimes it's like, okay, it could break here, it could break here. Anyway, yeah. So I'm obviously just kind of, chilling out a little bit here at the beginning to let some people arrive before we take a look at the new June issue of Crochet Foundry. Yay! Okay, and we have over in Facebook land, Sarah says hello. And in YouTube land, hello, Gabby says, well, hello, good morning. So these are our two mods in the Facebook group, Sarah and Gabby. Hello, Gabby. And Gabby, when you're on Facebook, Gabby's name is Kat something or other. And Sarah, this is Sarah's, obviously that's Sarah's Facebook name. So they are our mods on Facebook, which is nice. Yes, thank you, Atalano. I knew it started with an AT, and I knew there was an L in there. Gabby, hello, Gabby. Is one of our mods in the Facebook group, and her name in Facebook is Kat Atalano. So, and they say mod whenever they post. Facebook gives them the little mod thing, so you know that they're one of the mods. They are awesome. They make sure I know what's going on. They make sure that if there's a question or something in the group that I really should be answering, I know that it's there. And they make sure you guys actually get into the group when people request to join the Facebook group. They make sure that you get in a timely fashion. I try to make sure that I'm looking at things, commenting on things, reacting to things. I just have a lot on my plate. So sometimes I miss stuff, and they make sure that you guys don't have to wait around for just me. Many hands make light work, right? Thank you, Sarah. I don't know where the many hands make light work quote came from, just that it's true. They love doing fun polls and fun questions. They do, and I love it because they do ask some really fun questions in there to keep, make sure there's something fun going on, and it's really cool. It's cool. I love going in and reading. I don't always necessarily reply to everyone or comment on everyone, but I really enjoy going in and reading what y'all have said. So that's really cool. We need to do another show us what you've made and show us what you're working on, work in progress post, and any pictures that they put in there might be in the next issue. We need to do another one of those, and I need to put another Instagram little question of the week up as well. I need to do some of those things. Try to get to that today. All right, before we start looking through the June issue of the magazine, because I want to make sure we're giving people a little bit of time to show up here. Oh, I was like, where was I going with this? I'm so excited to show you the June issue. I keep forgetting everything else. So before we go through the June issue, though, today's Zoom live sit and stitch is right after this. So this lunchtime live is normally from 12 to 1 Eastern time. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Oh, I can read it. You guys can't. There you go. Thank you. It says knit crochet. I could back up. Knit crochet, resist, repeat. And this is actually last year's Knit the Rainbow Pride shirt. So Knit the Rainbow is an awesome LGBTQ plus charity for I can't remember the initials for that thing. But it's a wonderful charity, helps out queer youth in various, like 4 or so different states. And I am volunteer staff with them and love them very much. And they have knit and crochet. You see ads for them in pretty much every issue. There's ads for them. This issue, there's really big ads for them. But I usually put an ad in every issue because it's near and dear to my heart since I am on volunteer staff with them. So the live Zoom is today. Today right after this. So this is from 12 to 1 Eastern, and because the live Zoom happens right after that and it's like 2 hours long, and I'm drinking coffee, and eventually I'm going to need to fill this up. So I'll probably end like 12:50 to give myself like 10 minutes to take a little bathroom break and fill this back up with water. Okay. And then at 1 Eastern, 1 to 3 Eastern is our live Zoom sit and stitch. And the link, you can find the link in 2 places. There is always a pinned post in the Crochet Foundry Makes group on Facebook. And I can pull up that banner here. So yes, there's just string of numbers and you can't just click this one. So if you just go to Crochet Foundry Makes is the name of the Facebook group. You can join that. Kat and Gabby are the same person. Sarah and Gabby will get you approved quickly as long as you answer the little questions so we know you're a real person. And then there is a pinned post in there that always has the next few sit and stitches in there and the links to register for them. And then in addition to that, I have been doing better at making sure there is a newsletter sent out every single weekend, and that always contains links to the upcoming sit and stitch. So that only has the one link for the upcoming sit and stitch. So if you got the newsletter this weekend, the link will be in there, and it will definitely be in the Crochet Foundry Makes group. Okay. And like I said, that is right after this. Gotta find the right buttons to click. And Monica says, howdy y'all. Howdy, Monica. And Gabby says that it is a beautiful issue. So let's see. I wanted to give it about 10 minutes in. Let me see if there's anything else. Nope, nothing else over on Instagram. People joining, but not talking a lot over there, which is fine. So I'm going to now change to this screen and make this screen. Oh, this is a touch screen. I'm just going to do that. There we go. A little bigger, but then make the little image. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go through a little bit of the beginning of the issue by actually scrolling through the issue. Once I get to the patterns, I'm just going to show you. We're going to hop over to Canva where I have like the really nice big pictures of the patterns. So here is our cover with the lovely Wendy as our model on the cover. And the Ruana looks so cozy. Yes. Yeah. So we are, let's see, this is, I always forget Oregon. The photographer for these lives in Oregon, so and we're actually transitioning. The photographer who lives in Oregon has finished up. She has another full time job. Um, Works with furls also, and it's just working full time with furls. And now that this is actually a separate thing from furls, and yes, I was paying her as a separate thing from furls since I don't actually work for furls. um, but it just, it becomes a lot of extra work when it's on top of your full-time job instead of part of your full-time job. So she's done photographs for all the way through October. No, August, yeah, October. Um, there's some photos mixed in there with the new photographer who's here. But eventually it's going to get to the point where her photographs are done and we are just up to the new photographer who is here. And the fun thing about doing the photos for me locally is now I get the samples right away instead of having to like just get the photos of the samples from the photographer. So it's really fun to actually like have them in hand and stuff. So here we go. There is the opening of the I'm trying to find the right buttons here. And Gabby loves the black with the rainbow. So do I. I like white with rainbow. I like gray with rainbow, but I think black with rainbow is kind of my favorite. Although for blankets, sometimes gray with rainbow is really nice for a nice cozy blanket. There we go. So now here we go. I decided to go ahead and kind of, since it's laid out like a magazine that opens, the back of the front page and the back of the covers, the front and back covers have like just the stuff that would be on the inside of the front and back covers. So we have our little sneak peeks here and our list of people and clickable links. And the contents, woohoo! And you can see we have about the June issue, Meet the Designers, Behind the Collection. That's a fun one. We'll go look at that. Letter from the editor. And then for articles inspiration, we have a really cool yarn artist interview, an awesome article on taking your crochet project on the go, because we just had knit or crochet in public day. And if you got this issue when it came out, then you actually had it before knit or crochet in public day. A little wrap up of a bunch of photos and some stuff from when I went to H&H. So H&H Adventures in Chicago. Pictures or it didn't happen. We'll have to bounce up to that real quick, is because there was special yarn made by Dirty Girl Yarn for one of our patterns. And she sent me a lot of pictures of the making of it. And then I also had some pictures of some of her other really fun yarns. So I had to share that. Of course, games and puzzles. We've started doing those. And there are some really fun crochet. It's just 2 pages, more like a page and a half, because there's also the answers to the previous issues, games and puzzles, of just, crossword, maze, anagrams. It's a variety thing. Debbie kind of mixes it up every once in a while, every issue. Now then in the back we have yarn substitutions. So I don't know why I put page 98 after all of this stuff. That was just kind of silliness. I'm not sure. It probably should have actually been in the order. I have no idea why that's not in the order. You would think that between me doing layout and several proofreaders and the designers looking at it, somebody would have been like, why did you do that? And I would have been like, I don't know, that was silly. But oh well, of all the silly things that can happen, that's not a bad one. Behind the design is, of course, the interview with the cover designer. I need to look back at what those were called a couple months ago. I've been looking at some of the past issues, and they had a better name for this that I liked better. So that's the interview with the designer of the cover pattern. Yarn substitutions is new. If you go to that, you will see that we have here. I'll just pop up there. There we go. So we went through the various patterns and gave you ideas for yarn substitutions. And what I tried to do was I tried to make sure that if something was made with an animal fiber, or any kind of fiber that might have an allergy, I tried to make sure I included some yarn substitutions for either like a 100% um, acrylic, or let's see, I know there were some in here. Yeah, so like Fractal Fronde Shawl is 100% superwash merino. So this yarn is half cotton, half acrylic, because I know not a lot of people have an allergy to cotton. Is incredibly rare. I personally have never heard of one, but I'm sure there are people who have it. But I figured that was a safe choice for somebody with allergens. And then here's another merino wool that just might be, depending on where you live, it might be more accessible or whatever. And then here's half polyamide, half acrylic, which again, I was thinking might be a nice allergen one. So I was trying to think on the lines of allergens, if the original sample was made with something that people might have an allergy to. And I also tried to think along the lines of budgets, if the original yarn was something that was maybe a little on the higher price end, finding a yarn that would be a little bit more affordable. And I also tried to think along the lines of like this one, the taffy top and sunset shawl. The yarn used here, the Nako Calico, can be hard to get over here in at least in North America. I'm not sure how easy or difficult it is to get in South America, but I know in North America it's not always the easiest to get. But Pink Box yarn is very easy to get, as is Universal and Lion Brand. So I tried to think along the lines also of who will deliver to various places. So that is what I'm trying to do with yarn substitutions. Think about allergies, think about geography, and think about budgets. So that is the point of the yarn substitutions. And we have some comment over here. Again, if I can find my button, my cursor, Gabby, back to the black with rainbow comment. Black with rainbow makes it pop. It totally does. Queensland Cotton has some rainbow cakes out now that have different neutrals, white, black, gray, etc. I've seen some places that are doing that now, where they'll have the rainbow and then the color that goes with it. They'll do different colors, the same thing but with different colors. I'm wondering, maybe that might be the one that I saw. I know I saw one of them over at Rhinebeck. And Sarah, yes, the Dirty Girl yarn looks amazing. It totally is. So I'm going to do one of these super quick. There we go. I changed the order of the screens so that my big screen is now screen number 1. But I have 2 big screens, and it used to be my tiny screen was screen number 1. But now that I changed the order of the screens, I'm not quite as automatic in like remembering what screen the mouse goes to next. All right, so that was yarn substitutions. Community scrapbook is the same thing. Community scrapbook always is what you're making, what we're making. It's those fun little questions we ask, and abbreviations at the back. I added a few more standard abbreviations in there. I saw that there were abbreviations that pretty much everybody was using, and that were happening a lot. So I tossed those into the standard abbreviations. So when you're looking at a pattern, when you're reading the patterns in Crochet Foundry at the beginning, where there's all the information about the patterns, there'll be a part sometimes there's not a part that says abbreviations because it only uses the standard ones, but it'll say abbreviations, and it'll list any abbreviations that aren't part of our standard abbreviations. Okay, so if you have a double crochet 2 together, it'll have DC2TOG, and then it'll say that means double crochet 2 together. And anything that is a stitch that has to be listed in the abbreviations in the pattern will then be listed after that. It'll say special stitches, and it'll repeat all of those, but actually give you instructions on how to make them. Okay. So if there's an abbreviation and it's not in the abbreviations in the pattern, that means it's one of our standard abbreviations. Those are all on the back cover. And when you get the magazine, there is also the print-friendly version of the magazine that has it's got a front page with the table of contents that is clickable, just like this one is. So you can click on it to go to whichever pattern you want. But then it has the pattern, just the text of the pattern, and if there's a chart, the chart. And that way, if you're working on, when you're actually making one of the patterns, you can print out just the pattern if you so choose, and not have to deal with, like, if you're trying to print it off of the magazine copy. There's the photos in there that, are going to eat up your ink, and it's going to be a lot more pages because of the photos and all of that. So it's just a lot more print friendly. And you're not using as much ink, so you don't mind, like, taking a highlighter or whatever to it, and you can mark it up and all of that. And then I'm almost positive, I know I wanted to, so I'm sure I did, that the very last page of the print friendly one also has the abbreviations on it, so you can always print out that last page. And what I'll need to do is maybe make a little free printable that y'all can print out whenever you want, that has the standard abbreviations. That would probably be a nice thing to do for you guys, right? All right, so now that we've kind of talked about those, I wanted to, what did I say? I wanted to pop over and show you real quick. Oh, the pictures, or it didn't happen. Okay, so we'll actually, here we go. All right, so this is the Dirty Girl yarn, and it is used, you'll see the design it's used in. This picture over here on the bottom right is the completed yarn. And so what she does is she takes the raw, the curly, from the sheep, the curly wool from the sheep, and she dyed each of the colors. Actually, I believe that one's probably not dyed because it was supposed to be white. So I'd given Heidi the name. That's the woman behind Dirty Girl Yarn. I'd given Heidi the colors, a picture of the flag that the pattern that she was designing was representing. And the pattern that her yarn was being used for was being made in those colors. And she dyed the yarn in the different colors and then spun it together to make this really fun, really fibery, awesome novelty dirty girl yarn. Okay. And then on the next page, these are pictures I took when I first met Heidi at Vogue Knitting Live in Manhattan. So you can see that she has a bunch of them that have these really fun, that's what she's showing off in each picture, is some of these really fun little things that she actually has woven into some of these yarns. I mean, most of her yarns do not have little things woven into them like this. But it's something that she had just a little row of the yarns that did have fun novelty things woven into them or sewn into them. I guess she gets a lot of them at, like, thrift stores and stuff. But I mean, look at these little tiny soldier guys. Apparently this little guy is a Navy goat. He's some, like, vintage little dude, and he's the Navy goat. Like, isn't that adorable? There's another little green soldier man. Here's a little fabric yo-yo. This is like part of a vintage button. So they're just so fun. But she has, in addition to having the ones that have these, like, kooky things hanging off of them, which are just super fun, she has a lot of and you can kind of see in the background there too, a lot of the yarn that is, whatchamacallit. She has a lot of the yarn that is just a solid color. I got distracted because my husband is calling me on my watch here, and I'm not sure why, because he knows that it's Wednesday between 12 and 1. And I'm pretty sure I know why. I'm pretty sure he's asking me a question that he should already know the answer to. And I'm going to pop over here. Oops. And here, I'm going to go back to this main screen for a moment and just send him a text because I know what he's asking. And there we go. It was a one-word answer. Did it send? Oh, no. Let me try that again. And send. All right. There we go. One-word answer. That's all he needed, I hope. All right. Booger contacted me on a Wednesday. You should know better. All right. So now that we've gone through that stuff, I'm going to decrease this screen. Whee! And we're going to go over to this screen. Woo! And we're going to make it big. Maybe. Where's the cursor? There it is. The hunt for the cursor. Like the hunt for Red October, but not so dangerous. Okay, the hunt for the cursor. All right, we have the Dirty Girl yarn. Looks amazing, which it was totally amazing and beautiful. The yarn is beautiful and fun. And hello, Monique. Okay. Second, please. All right, let me just double check Instagram here, see if there were any comments or questions. No, we're good. All right, so now here we have the patterns. So this pattern is the taffy top, and I have realized after I did all of the pictures and everything that in this particular picture, not in any of the other ones that I've noticed, but in this one, she's actually got the top on inside out, which is funny because this is one of the pictures provided by the designer. But you can kind of see that these are actually ruffles. Like if you look inside, and you'll see it in some of the, I'll pull up some of the other photos later. But in the other photos of this top, you can see that the sleeve actually has ruffles. So I don't know how I didn't realize this was, well, obviously the designer didn't even realize that her model had it on inside out for this photo either. And there are more photos with the same model where she's wearing it the right way, but it's a different place. So she must have, like, obviously there was a change in between, and somewhere along the line the shirt got turned inside out. Anyway, but this top is really cool. The way we celebrated Pride with the patterns is we weren't trying to do patterns that said, "Hi, I'm queer," as like the actual pattern itself. I mean, like that's not really something you can even do, right? That's kind of like saying I don't know. Anyway, the point is we weren't going for like the pattern looking like it needed to be worn by somebody who was queer, or that it was like celebrating Pride or whatever, just with like the actual what the thing was. What we did was we assigned each pattern, each design to a different flag, and the designer then made the sample in the colors of that flag. And then I put a little explanation at the beginning of each pattern of that flag, of what the flag means and what it means to be whatever that flag stands for, and so on and so forth. So this one is, the colors of this flag is pansexual. Just a second, there was another comment. Issue stunning. You love that there's a printable version. Oh, Monique has a sick kitty, and so she has to run. Sorry, Monique. I hope the kitty starts feeling better. Before we leave, talk about how pretty these ruffles. Yes, the ruffles are very pretty when the shirt's on right side out. I mean, it's pretty even. You can kind of see them inside the sleeve. If she were like holding up her arm, they would probably still be pretty even inside out. But when it's right side out, it's even prettier. So anyway, the colors of this one are the colors of the pansexual flag, which means that basically that's when somebody will feel romantic feelings for anyone, regardless of gender or lack thereof. So that's what that one is. All right, and then mouse, here we go. Let's go to the next one. Here we go. All right, this is the Berry Blast circular vest, and this one. I love this. I don't know that I don't know, other than circular vest, that there's like a name for this sort of thing, but I really do like them. I've seen them so that they become really long, so that they almost have a hood. I've seen them so that they lace up. This one is more on the traditional vest size, as opposed to like really long to be like a coat or a dress or this, that, or the other thing. But in the customizations, there's lots of suggestions on how you can do different sizes and different, make it bigger or whatever. So this is a really fun one. And it's actually this is a very easy to make pattern, like easy to make design. So, I mean, like, it wasn't easy for the designer, obviously, having to do all the math to make sure it lays the right way, but it's easy for you to make. This is an easy make, easy skill level. There we go, skill level. I'm losing my English. This is a very easy skill level, which I love. And again, because where we put the pride in these patterns was in the colors they were made in, it means that they are patterns for items that you can create in any colors. Some of them are going to be things that fit in your style if they're made in whatever colors you want, and some of them are not. The goal is to always make sure that there's something for everybody in there, but I'm well aware that not everything is going to be for everybody. This is the kind of vest that I would wear. I think my mom would probably wear it. She's pretty cool. But, I have some friends who just like, this is so not their style. That's totally cool. There are other things in here that would be their style. Okay, so this is a very nice, fun wrap. It is the Fractal Fern Frond Shawl. Okay, and you can see that it does this little curly Q thing, wee, 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 at the very end. The ends of this are super fun. I love the trim that goes all the way around it. Looks like little leaves with the little, like, poofs inside. Super fun. And then these little curly cues that are at both ends. What's cool is this is of a size that you can wrap it around yourself in various ways. And then you can, like, twist the curly cues together to make it stay. It's super fun and cool. We'll see after we've gone through all of these. I'll see if we have time, we should, to go through some of the extra photos of each of the patterns, so you can see different ways that some of them have been worn. All right, this is super fun. It is the Sunset Shawl, and I love these drop stitches on this. Okay, so this is cool. It's got just, it's one of those, like, simple elegance things. I think that's how I see this one, right? um it's Our top piece here is made in rose. So for people who are like, I'm not really cool on the like shaping things and making round things, this is nice. It's made in rows. So you just have increases on this end for a little while, and then you have decreases on this side for a little while. And then the one side is always straight. And then you're just adding mesh on for a bit, right? And then this one row of drop stitches, which Smitha, our designer for this pattern, she explains it really well in words, and then also has a link that is in the pattern that you can go to for a video tutorial. Okay, so it's nothing to be scared of at all. I would not be afraid of this pattern if you're new, and it's going to seriously impress people because it's just got this, like, simple elegance, right? And again, you can make it in these beautiful sunset colors, which are actually the colors of the lesbian flag. Um, and then you can also make it in, like, just if you have, you're going on a little cruise or whatever, and you have your pretty little blue dress, and you want to make it in shades of blue to go with your blue dress, dude, go for it, right? I definitely like the idea of at least doing, like, 2 or 3 colors. Like, I love the idea of the drop stitch row, this whole little section of drop stitches here being its own color. And like, even if it was just 2 colors, I think it would be pretty with 2 colors, where it's just this brighter pink section with the drop stitches would be one color and everything else would be the second color, or the solid one color, the drop stitch one color, and then everything else like a third color would be nice too. Or the way that it's broken up. I don't know. There's so many options to how you can do it just with, like, changing the colors. And it really is a very easy pattern to make. And yeah, see, this is Sarah's agreeing with me here that you have to love something that looks super complicated, but it's actually pretty easy. And that's really what this one is. It's very, very beginner friendly. All right. I love when I have designs sent in that are like super like beginner friendly and look like really impressive. So here we have the go with the flow hoodie, which is a lot of fun. And again, like this is a very, it's a friendly, it's an easy user, easy to make friendly pattern. Um, and it's very useful. You know, it's a hoodie. Those things are awesome. We always need a hoodie, right? I love that it has the little kangaroo pocket going on in here, which is the best. And then just the little detail of adding some stripes in a couple places. Okay, so in this case, these stripes are actually done in the colors of the gay male flag. Um, you could have no stripes. You could do stripes that work for the colors of your favorite sports team. You could do stripes that work for the color of whatever pride flag you would like to put on there. Um, you could do stripes of your favorite color. You could do stripes of a different color for each of your friends, and you could all have friendship hoodies. That's a whole lot of crocheting. I don't know where my brain was going with that one, but oh my goodness. How insane would you have to be to do that much crocheting? Actually, no, you would just have to, you don't have to be insane. Sorry, no. Just have a lot of time on your hands. Or be really, really quick crocheter. That too, right? So here we go. There's the go with the flow hoodie. That is a whole lot of fun here. And let me turn the page. And then we have also in the color of the gay male flag, we have the shrug it off. All right. So this is fun. And the reason there are two patterns in the gay male flag, right, is because originally we were going to do this with the dirty girl yarn. Okay. So everywhere where you see these stripes was going to be that yarn. Well, after the yarn was already in the mail, or possibly even with the designer, Heidi, the creator of the yarn, was like, so it just occurred to me that retail, the yarn that I just sent for that hoodie would be like $300, and that's not even a really big size that she's making. Do you really think anybody's going to spend that much money on a hoodie? And I'm like, no, they're not. So, like, maybe we need to rethink this. Because, you know, I try to be considerate of like the fact that we don't pay for the yarn, but you sure do. And even if we did, it would be like a business expense. Whereas if you buy it to make something for yourself, it is so not a business expense, right? So we stuck our heads together with the designer, and she actually, our fabulous designer, came up with this idea that is just this really fun little mesh shrug, and then using the dirty girl yarn to accent it, and it is now a reasonable amount of the dirty girl yarn so that it does not break the bank. So this is still totally doable. And hiccups. What I love about this is you'll see when in some of the other photos, we also have a photo of this particular sample is very small. But we have a photo of this on a like a teen girl model, and she has a white tank top or white short sleeve shirt, I can't remember which, on underneath it, and it looks really cute. It's adorable. So this is fun. You can put it on top of something. I mean, Nate obviously has it on top of something here. You can see the white top of he's just got like a crop tank top on. So I mean, it's fun to wear like something really festive this way. Would be super fun at a pride parade, but it's also, you know, just going out with your friends, whatever. You can, depending on what you put on underneath it, can kind of speak to how, like, the style that it puts out there. Okay, like you could put this over a basic dress in the evening if you just want to shrug along with your dress or whatever. Super fun. I really like that one. These are cool, and you'll see they're actually, she designed two different sets of earrings and a brooch. So here we have an earring, and then this is the pin. And when we're looking through the other photos, we'll do that real quick. You'll see there's also another set of earrings where the ruffle is wider than this one. So this is the thinner ruffle, and this is the non-binary flag. Then she did another one that has a thicker ruffle, and she did that one in just the rainbow flag. And the cool thing is at the end of this pattern and the customization, she tells you ideas for how to separate the colors for a few different other flags as well, which is totally awesome. And then this is our beach cover up. Okay. And so you can't see in this particular photo, but it does go into pink and blue to be the colors of the transgender flag. You'll see it in some of the other photos. And it's just a great little cover up on a swimsuit. You can see this is over a swimsuit. You can wear it over, tank and leggings, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever makes you happy. So here's that. And this is my daughter, Kyla, right here. And these are some of her drawings. She's the illustrator for the magazine as well. If you look through the when you look through the magazine, you'll see she did some illustrations in there that are super fun. And then we have the Rainbow Ruana. How are there? It says 9 out of 10. Do I want to know? Hold on. I'm gonna take this off of here in case number 10 is a picture of like the next issue. Oh no, here, I'll show you page 10. There you go. There's page 10. It was like, is page 10 a picture of the next issue? I better not like accidentally show you that. No, it's not. But I am going to see if I can real quick pull up again. Where's the mouse? Okay. Open up another series of photos. I just have to find them. That's the main pattern square, pattern slideshow. Come on, pattern squares. That should do it. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and I'm going to kind of go through quickly. Oopsie, that's not what I wanted. I wanted that. Thank you. Because there's 68 photos here, but I just want to see. Here we go. Here you can see the ruffles a little better on this one, right? Oh, right. Half day of school. I'm like, why is there thumping above me at 12:42? Half day of school. That's why. All right. So here you can see the ruffles a little better on the sleeve because this is worn the right way out this time. Okay. Page 10. Page 10 was super secret exclusive. That's for sure. And Monica says, so many nice patterns in the issue. Where to start? Exactly. I love it because there are so many. There's not everything is going to fit your style, but there are definitely several patterns that should fit. Everybody should be able to find a few patterns at least in there that fit their style. Okay. So again, there's this, oopsie. It's inside out in that picture too. There we go. But here's right side out. And here we go. And that's the flag. All right. And then we have the testers for this one. See it's in different colors. I like that she did some sparkly on her sleeves. And the Berry Blast circular vest on a couple different people here. And you can see it's just like a ruffle towards the front. It's not like a big covery part like they get when they get really long. And then here is the shawl, and here are the illustrations that Kyla did showing some of the different ways that the shawl can be worn, which is super fun, right? So there's that, and more model photos wearing the shawl different ways, and the sunset shawl, more photos wearing it in a couple different ways on a couple different people. Here we go, sunset shawl and the hoodie. I just love this photo. It's so fun. Don't know what he's surprised about, but it's adorable, right? Here we go, hoodie again. And again. And there must always be a pet, preferably a dog, somewhere in the pages of the magazine. And he does not look thrilled, but whatever, dude. The dog is like, I see you. Nate's like, I don't. I'm hiding. All right. And then, oh, we have some testers. And then Nate being a goofball in the shrug it off photos. I mean, these photos again, they were taken by my photographer in Oregon, and I'm always so jealous when she takes photos with Nate because he just seems like he would be a blast to hang out with, right? I mean, look at that little smart aleck face he's got going on there. So yeah. And then here we go. See, look at this. I think this is adorable like that. Oh my gosh, I would totally, I think that would be super fun to go to middle school like that or high school or whatever. But then you could also go out with your friends like that. And you could be like, I'm, going out to a club or a bar or a concert or wherever. And it's like, you're still, if you don't want to be too suggestive and you want to be covered, you're still covered, but you're also still like, woohoo, celebration, you know. And then depending, it's you can make the mesh part a little bit longer. So for somebody like me, even if I made it in my size, the this part would probably start about halfway down my chest here. And so I would probably want to make the non-decorative yarn mesh a little longer and then do this so it fell right under my breasts instead of halfway through them. But it's all up to you, and it's easy to customize. There are suggestions in the customizations, so super fun. Here we go. And this is showing that you could do it with a fun fur yarn. And the other thing, if you want to here, just go back here. Another thing, if you really fall in love with the Dirty Girl yarn, but maybe you're somebody who is a larger size like me, and it just becomes a little expensive, even if you just get one of her smaller hanks of the yarn, what you could do is do the sleeves, right? The ends of the sleeves, and then make this mesh part a little bit longer, and then just make 1 or 2 rows at the very bottom if you want, so that you don't have as big of a section of the Dirty Girl yarn, where that way you can still use it, because there is none of the other yarns that you could use to substitute for this are the same look. The faux fur is fun, but it's not the same look, right? So if you really love this look, which I do, I majorly love this look, buy the smaller amount, do the ends of the sleeves first, and then just do 1 or 2 rows at the bottom of the mesh with the Dirty Girl yarn. And you can make the mesh part on the top as long as you want. You just keep going in rounds. Once you have your little separation for your sleeves here, and then you can just do rounds underneath it to make the mesh longer. Whee! That's kind of fun, making me dizzy. And then put a little row, 1 or 2 rounds of the Dirty Girl yarn at the bottom, and not spend as much money. I mean, that's something that I would probably do, because again, at my size, I would, in order to make the Dirty Girl yarn section this wide, I would need a lot more of the yarn. Yes, I love the suggestion. You can go for faux to substitute Dirty Girl yarn. It is like you can see, it totally works, right? And she's got are those, I can't decide. I think those are just little flecks of color in the yarn, not sequins. But you could do a sequin yarn up here, which would be super fun too. This is fun, and definitely, it gives that fun little party look. But it's not the same look as the Dirty Girl yarn. So if you really like the Dirty Girl yarn look, doing less rounds of it is a way to not have to use as much yarn for it, if your size is such that you need more yarn. Here's the other pair of earrings I was talking about that is thicker. So it's the same. The circle on the inside is the same. It's just using taller stitches here. So here we go again. You can see earring and brooch. So I made her make me 2 sets, and she proposed just the earrings, and she did show the 2 different colors, and I'm pretty sure she said that they were going to be 2 different widths as well. But then I was like, "Can you add a brooch too?" Because I have a minimum that I'll pay my designers. Um, and so like when somebody proposes something that I really like, but it's maybe I'm like, I really like it, but even paying them like the minimum of what I'll pay, I'm like, okay, they're totally kind of making out here because this is the minimum of what I'll pay. And it's probably a little bit more than like, the little bit of time that it takes to do this. But so I was like, here, can we add a brooch too? But then she went like everything that she did to make the pattern so fabulous. It is in 2 different widths. And she made a little chart and she explains really well how to change it for the different flags. Like she actually breaks down how many rows of each, or how many like sets of stitches of each color and everything. Totally now completely and totally worth the minimum of what I pay my designers. She definitely stepped it up for like, okay, well, if you're going to accept this at that price, sure, here you go. It was awesome. You have to love when the designers like just do fabulous things like that for you. Here we go again. And there again is the set of earrings with a shorter stitch. Okay, the earring and brooch set with a shorter stitch. Here we go. And then here we go. Now you can see the whole cover up. This is hysterical. Okay, so the photographer here is my son. All right, he's studying photography. And like when I tried to take photos of her, of my daughter here, she was not like, she gets kind of self-conscious. And then my son takes the photos and she like does this like goofy stuff because they're twins, okay? Like they're twins and they're just goofballs. They're absolute goofballs. It's hysterical. All right. So here we go. I love this sculpture. It's in one of our local parks. Okay, so like on this side it says peace, and this is the beach cover up, and here you can see it being worn over tank top and leggings. And then this is the back of the same sculpture. That was one side of it. Somewhere I think I might have a photo of the front of it. We'll see. So again, like I said, my daughter will do goofy stuff when my son is the photographer. So, oh, maybe there wasn't another one. Okay, so this is actually the back. So if we go back over here, this is the side of the sculpture. This, when you're looking straight on, so coming from this way, it's UNITY. So it says unity, and it's filled with rocks, a lot of which have been painted and decorated by the local kids. So here you can see this was actually from the back. So this is NINT, but from the back. So you can see how it's actually filled up with the different rocks, a lot of which have been painted. But this is actually the back of it. So on the front, it would say unity. And then this is the opposite side of what says peace. It's just like a general mosaic. It's a really, really cool sculpture. They put it up several years ago. I feel like it maybe was over quarantine. All right, so we looked at these already. And then the rainbow Ruana, which we love. And one of the things I love about this is, here, we're going to go through because there's a good photo of it. Okay, here we go. Look at this. Okay, this section is straight in granny stripes, and then this section is at a 45-degree angle in granny stripes. This section is at an angle in box stitch, and then, or maybe the other way around. But this section is at an angle doing another variation. This is the box stitch, yeah. And then this section is straight in box stitch. And there is a pocket over here. There's only one pocket on it. Of course, you could always do 2 pockets if you wanted to, but there's a pocket. It has a pocket. That's how you know a woman designed it, because there's a pocket. No, sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. I get very annoyed when like something that should have a pocket, and this isn't necessarily something that should have a pocket, but like when I buy ready to wear clothes and I feel like they should have a pocket and they don't, that is annoying. And the only thing more annoying than that is when they have a pocket and it's only like 2 inches deep. So, see, yay, pockets. All right, here we have more. This is like Nate walking away. Bye, that's all, folks. There you go. And there's Nate looking concerned about something. I'm not sure what, but he looks very concerned. There we go. Oh, and then that's the flag one. All right, so and we will go over here. Find which way is my mouse. Ha ha ha. There we go. All right, guys, it is 12:55, which means I barely have enough time. So if you are coming to the Zoom, I hope you're coming to the Zoom. If you come to the Zoom and it doesn't start exactly at 1 o'clock, that is simply because I need to take a little restroom break and maybe get some water, and then I will be back to open up the Zoom, which is a 2 hour long sit and stitch. You are welcome to come and go as you please. You do not have to stay for the full 2 hours. And I'm sure any of you are here now might be wanting to take a quick break, so you might all be a little bit late, which is totally cool because it's not really late. Because, like I said, come and go as you please. So, I will see you all again, hopefully in a few minutes. And if not, then in a week when we do our next one of these. Remember to pop on over to crochetfoundry.com and buy your either 12-month subscription or your summer 2024 bundle. The 12-month subscription gets you 12 magazines for the price of 10, which is a 17% discount. And the summer bundle gives you 10% off 3 issues. If you want a single issues are only available as past issues, which means you can't get the June issue by itself until the July issue comes out. However, it is totally worth getting a summer bundle or a 12-month subscription. All right, so I will see you all either in a few minutes or next week. Thank you so much for stopping by.